Okay, gentlemen, so we had a reasonably detailed look at the filter. So don't play around with the filters. Be very, very careful. And most of the filters in hydraulic equipment are the throwaway type. You know, that felt filters which you just use and throw one time use. So don't ever make the mistake of cleaning it in diesel oil and putting it back. So it is your responsibility to see that you have adequate spares on board as far as the filters are concerned, and immediately take action whenever you get the alarm that filter is not good, because it's like slow poison. You know, the equipment is still working, so that gives you a false sense of security that, oh, anyway, how does it matter, filter is choked, yeah, alarm is coming. Don't ever say that is a false alarm. No, the alarm is not false alarm, it is a true alarm, but the equipment is not tripping. So people make the mistake of telling filter alarm is coming, but since nothing is tripped, that means the false alarm. Absolutely wrong, absolutely wrong. So of course, the next obvious thing is we are going to talk about the load testing, right? Some tests, what all things are associated with the crane. So you know that I have to do a load test.
A message for every marine engineer out there. First time joining and scared of what will happen on board? Our Combat Achiever packages show real shipboard videos before you step on, so you join with confidence. Junior engineers still repeating those basic mistakes? Our basic troubleshooting package helps you avoid the same errors we all made on board ship. Fourth engineer, go in depth into purifiers and compressors. Izzat nahi kamani kya? Third engineer, learn auxiliary engine overhauling and boiler testing step by step. To all second engineers and chief engineers and VTOs, hydraulics, maneuvering, electrical circuit diagrams, PLC, PID, reefer and AC system. Guys, troubleshooting should be your forte. अगर जहाज पे इज्जत अपने juniors की चाहिए, तो troubleshooting आनी चाहिए. 24 packages, many more coming soon. 2-year subscription. That's M&D Flex, not a course, but a technical lifeline you need on ship. Check out our free trial videos. Link is in description box.
That is, once in 5 years, I am going to do a load test. How do I do the load test? Have a look here. There are some rules, and these rules are coming from the classification societies. Correct? How much load you should put. So my SWL, you know, I have a safe working load. Safe working load, which I call it as the SWL. Now, if this SWL is less than 20, correct? Up to 20 means what? Less than 20, these are smaller cranes, correct? You have to overload the crane to 25%. That means if your safe working load is 10 tons, you have to lift up a load of 12.5 tons. 12.5 tons. Correct? That is what is a load testing. If your load safe WL is between 20 to 50, then you have to lift up a load of safe working load plus 5 tons. Plus 5 tons. You see, there is no percentage here. And if your safe working load is above 50 tons, which is there in project ships and container ships and so much, then you have to overload the crane by 10%. So not 25%. Any crane which is a safe working load more than 50 tons, you have to overload it by 10%. Now you all know that if I try to lift up something which is more than the FWL, correct, my overload cutoff will work and it will not allow me to lift it up. So whenever the surveyor is coming and asking for a load test, I have to bypass this overload trip. Let me now use the wrong word, trip, no, overload cutoff, and then only I'll be able to lift up this load which is 25% more than the SWL or 10% more than SWL. Correct? So I have to bypass. Now this is to be done only when the chief engineer and the attending surveyor are requesting you and they are going to witness this. Nobody is authorized to go and bypass this unless you are carrying out an official load test with the chief engineer surveyor present. Any other thing is illegal. Tomorrow if you have an accident and somebody finds out that second year quietly went and bypassed this and do, or electrical officer went and bypassed because chief officer told him like, no please man, my container is not coming, why don't you little bit adjust. Something goes wrong, you are answerable because immediately everybody is going to turn back and say, who asked you to bypass this? It's an illegal thing, right? So you have to make an entry that load test was carried out. So now after the surveyor has gone, obviously it is the responsibility of the chief engineer and the ETO or whoever is there to make sure that this bypass is removed and again the overload is working. Again the overload is working. This is very, very important that this has to be removed. Otherwise the crane will keep on lifting more than what's supposed to lift and you'll have an accident. No, it has to overload cut off, you have to readjust and you have to confirm that this is working again, and then only the crane is ready for operation, for normal commercial operation. So this is about overload test. And what do they do in an overload test? They just come normally like this, say for example a 20-ton crane. So 1.25 times the SWL is lifted up, correct? And surveyor generally, I have seen surveyor is wanting to see that it is there, and then like no, it is not dropping. They just keep the load holding and the load is not dropping by its own weight. And then when the load is fully lifted up, you'll go and check a few things here, wire share, everything is right. It has got a capacity, the brake is not slipping, so that the load, you keep it there and slowly the load falls down or starts coming down, then of course the load test is not good. So this is what, but I don't want to say this is the right way or whatever, because it's happening like that. But from as an operator point of view, this is not good enough. Surveyor is only interested in the safety of the crane. I think we already discussed this. Surveyors are only interested in safety of the crane, but he is not at all interested in the operation of the crane. How well the crane operates, all that surveyor is not interested. So if he insists, if he is very happy that no, the load is held here 1 meter high away from the deck and it is not falling, and he says very good, he signed the certificate, it is good for the surveyor, but it is not still good for you, because your job is to see that crane works. Your job is to see that crane works. And how do you check? You have to lift up that load and check if the speed is alright. Are you able to get the speed as written in the manual? Then only you know that the crane is working as per specification from commercial point of view. Otherwise, surveyor is very happy, oh, crane is a safe crane. The safest crane is a crane which never works, because no accident. So, correct or not? So try to remember, there is a commercial angle and then a safety angle. Surveyors are interested in safety angle, but as a ship staff, as an operator, I am equally, of course safety is very important for me, but I am equally interested whether the commercial angle is met or the cranes are going to work as per the specification, because your chartering party department is very proudly telling all the people they know that I have a crane which will finish cargo in 2 days. This is my time, this is my speed, you just take our ship. Of course somebody is going to pay you money for the promise you made. And what is the promise you made? You have promised that I will lift so many containers, within 2 days I will finish and go. Correct? So he is calculated a budget. Oh, if I have this ship, like no, okay, this ship will come 2 days, I have to pay so much money to the berth, so much money, blah, 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 so many gangs. Okay, I have made a good profit. That is why he hired your ship. And you go there and say, sorry sir, it is not 2 days, but I'll take 5 days to load the ship. My friend, who is going to pay for that? That 3 days extra berthing hire, all the consequential commercial impact. Who's going to bear on that? So you will get into a fight. No, I told you so, you told you so. Nobody wants a fight. Everybody wants a clean business. Just go, do your job, get the money and finish. So remember, the speed of the crane is very, very important, and you have to ensure that the load test is always accompanied by a physical check of the speed, whether the surveyor is wanting or not wanting. It is the chief engineer who should do that. Having said that, I am moving on. Now I am going to talk to you about another very important test called the rocking test, which seems to be the big fashion nowadays. Every guy, I mean, whomever I am coming in touch with, sir, please explain to me what is rocking test. Why surveyors are like going berserk asking for rocking test? And this is the test which 15-20 years back nobody knew about and nobody was bothered. But rocking test seems to be the new favorite of all the surveyors. And so that anyway, now let me tell you what is this rocking test why people are doing, and then I will give you my opinion on rocking test, which will be a bit shocking for all of you. Now I have already explained to you about the slewing bearing. Correct or not? What is a slewing bearing? This is the inner flange. Correct? You have a pedestal. Just listen carefully. You have a pedestal. Maybe it is a repeat, but still it's worth. I have a pedestal, and the pedestal is got this flange. Correct? This flange is of course part of the pedestal, and this flange is connected to the, let us put it, inner race of the slewing bearing. Inner race. I have a turret, and this turret is connected to, by bolted, you see, to the outer race of the slewing bearing. Outer race of the, what is this? Slewing bearing. And this is the rotating part, and this is the non-rotating part. Rotating part and non-rotating part. So obviously between the rotating part and the non-rotating part, I am supposed to have the elements. What are the elements? The rollers or the balls. So let me write it here, the rollers. In this case, I am showing you the rollers. There are many designs and models. So something, this is a very big crane. So you got 3 sets of rollers to take care of lot of things. If you want to know in depth about the theory of this, I would suggest that you go to a channel which I am maintaining. There I have uploaded a video very in detail about the theory of this slewing bearing. Why this ball is there, why this ball is there, why this ball is there. You will have a very in-depth understanding, but here we are not interested in getting into depth of anything. So and these balls obviously are like, they rotating, they're not rotating. You have to put a lot of grease. A lot of grease has to be pumped here, so that the balls are smooth and they don't wear out. But by chance, as it usually happens, so there will be some 20 grease nipples. Make sure one grease nipple will be here, so that you put the grease and it will spread all over the place. So there will be 20 of them. Invariably, then 5 of them or 8 of them will not work. They are choked, and nobody keeps a track how many are working, because you know how it works on the ship. You also will call, bosun, go and grease number 2 crane and come back within 1 hour. The bosun is happy, he just goes. Whether grease is going or not going, he's going, doing the job and coming back. 1 hour, finished, tea time. Have you done number 2 crane greasing? Yes sir, finished sir. Arey bhai, 5 grease nipples, grease never went in. They never went in. So the slewing bearing invariably is a very weak point where it deteriorates. And then you have a situation where the slewing bearing balls are worn out. Now the rocking test is to find out what is the condition of the slewing bearing. Have a look here. This is telling you that slewing bearing balls, you see all the gaps here. I'm just showing you, just concentrate, the gaps and all have come up. The balls are already worn out. So now what is going to happen? Now look at this. I have a turret and the jib is in this completely vertical position. Minimum jib angle position. Minimum jib angle position. So obviously you will be, if you look at this one, I am somewhere here, correct? The balanced. So what I am going to do in a rocking test is, I am going to put a dial gauge here, right? Of course, this is like no generic I am showing you. If your manual says where to put the dial gauge, you follow the manual, because there are many ways of doing the same thing, but concept, try to understand the concept what I am trying to tell you. So I put a dial gauge here, correct? And then what you see is, I am going to drop the jib. Try to understand, I am going to drop the jib from here to here. That means the jib which was held vertically high, I am going to put it to the starboard side. Starboard. So now you see, I am going to do that. You see here, where is my reading? This is my reading, correct? Vertical. Jib is like this, it's here. Okay. Now I drop the jib to the starboard side. Where is my reading now? My reading is here. So this is my deflection. So obviously this is telling you how bad my balls are, the rollers are. The more this is gone, this guy will go all over the place. Maybe it will go back and come here also, this one full round also. Understood? So you better check. Another concept is, people are going to check this distance also from the internal, wherever that teeth is there, you can check that is. So here also, because this guy is going like this, because of the slewing bearing slackness, so this distance is going to increase and decrease. Now just watch very carefully. very, very carefully. I am going to do it 2-3 times for you to keep watching. Now you see my fellow is here. Now you see here. Can you see this? You can watch this distance also and the dial gauge also. I am going to do 2-3 times. You see here. There, vertical. Starboard, vertical. Starboard, vertical. So you are going to do this, right? You are going to do this. You are going to do this, one for starboard side, one for the port side, one, see, that means your crane, you keep the one, number one is the reading the vertical, number two is put the jib to the starboard side like this, number three you put the jib to the forward side like this, then you put the jib to the port side like this, and then you put the jib back to the aft side, and then you are going to fill up this form. And then I am just going to show you this form where the guy is telling you, look at this, if this measurement blah 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 is more than 7 millimeter, do not use the crane. So this is the guidance from the maker. So of course this is from that particular ship, so you have to understand that maker would have told you what is good and what is not good. Now this is just to tell you the rocking test, and I am going to give you my opinion about what I feel about a rocking test. People might not agree with me, or they'll be shocked if I say, because the whole industry is like going gaga over the rocking test. But let me tell you, I don't believe in rocking test. You should do because everybody asks you to do. But I have a personal experience where my slewing bearing was broken and my rocking tests were all beautiful, right? You see here, I had the great opportunity of opening up the slewing bearing. You see the entire balls were wiped out. The chrome lining is all coated here, right? Out of 7 cranes, 5 cranes, the slewing bearings were all cracked. Now you see when I opened it up, you see, 1 minute, where you can see here also. You see, some of the rollers are vertical, some of the balls are horizontal, rollers are horizontal, and still the rocking test was good. And how did I know? Why did we open up this bearing? Because the grease which was coming out was shining. I mean, I realized the whole grease was full of chrome particles. The rollers were broken and it is but rocking test is very good. So gentlemen, remember, the rocking test is only telling you that it is the when somebody is dead, you go to the hospital and then that fellow puts the ECG or what and says, oh, okay, I confirm that he is dead. So rocking test is just confirming that your crane is dead, right? He is not telling you, he is not going to give you a warning. Yeah, of course, you know that it's getting bad and bad, but you can also have a situation where the rocking tests are still good, but something very bad is happening inside the crane, and that you will know only when you analyze the grease at regular intervals. Visual inspection of the grease. Check if the old grease is coming out. The old grease should not have any shiny particles. If all this is go well, that means your bearing is in good condition. If grease is analyzed and they tell you that your grease is getting a lot of particles, chrome particles or whatever, then you know that your balls are breaking from inside. But rocking test may still be good. Okay, gentlemen, so you just saw a glimpse of the rocking test. So of course, I have also made one video on rocking test which is more in detail. Which you want to go, you can always, you are most welcome to go here to my video here, and you can see this rocking test in more details. Of course, this particular topic is, I mean, this module is not for getting into details. It's a familiarization. It is a familiarization type of the focus on familiarization. So the details will be further details are like no specific videos on YouTube. You can go here. So this is the rocking test. 50% is already I told you. Then there's extra points you can get from here. So okay. So now we move on to the next one, which is creep test. So what is the creep test? Creep test is nothing but you just lift up the. So let me just draw it for you. You just lift up a particular load. Ideally, you can do it yourself, or the surveyor along with the surveyor also you can do. Lift up the load and hold it, and you see that it is not falling down or it is not coming down. This is exactly what I told you. Load test also people are going to look at this, but the difference between load test and creep test is in the load test. Okay, the brake is on. So that means if I would say that the load is being held because of hydraulic lock plus brake in the load test. Whereas here what I am going to say is I am just going to look at the hydraulic integrity. So this is definitely not what the surveyor wants. It is in your own interest and in your own proactiveness. You should do this. So in this case, the brake should be released. Without the brake on, you have to figure out a way how to release the brake. Either you have to manually go and operate the solenoid and release the brake, or whatever it is. Whichever method the brake is getting applied, you have to release the brake, and then you see that the load does not go down. This is called, if the load goes down, this is the creep. So if the load does not go down and the creep test is very good, that means there's very small movement of the load. It tells you that your hydraulics is in very good condition. Understood? The load test, when you hold a load and the load is not falling down, the load test is telling you that your hydraulics plus the brake is in good condition. It is telling you that brake is also in good condition. In this case, you want to check only the hydraulics. So you have to remove the brake, which is also contributing the load test. You remove that, and then you see that, okay. So let me just see if my creep test is bad. This is what would happen. See, slowly you can see the load is falling. It is telling you that maybe you have to go and do further investigation to check whether my hydraulic motor is defective. Whatever it is, it depends on your crane's hydraulic circuit. You have to figure it out. What could be the reason for this? Because it is telling you that the oil is not tight. Hydraulic lock is gone. So you'll have to figure out. So we are not getting into too depth of these type of things, which is not beyond the scope of this particular course. So, but I'm just giving you, I'm just trying to open up your eyes. Oh, this is a possibility. Otherwise, half the guys won't even know whether I have a problem with my hydraulic motor, I have a problem with the hydraulic pump, is there a hydraulic problem, is the brake problem, is it the brake lining is bad. Are you going to start segregating the problem one by one? This is what is called troubleshooting. And I am just giving you some glimpses of troubleshooting. But as I told you, I don't even want to use the word troubleshooting in this particular module because it's too vast, and I don't want to demean I don't want to simplify it or giving you a false hope that troubleshooting is all about having a piece of paper, check this, and like, no, I'm a troubleshooter. No, it is not so easy. So I keep repeating this again and again to make you realize that I have to travel a long way in terms of practical risk assessment, practicality, possibility, and the theory. Then only I will be able to come and do some good troubleshooting. Simple troubleshooting like fuse blown and all that, I don't even want to call that as troubleshooting. Understand? Coupling bolt broken, fuse is gone, motor winding is burnt out. These are all not trouble. You know. These are all just anybody can go and find out, oh, this is not. Everything is working, but the crane is not working. That is troubleshooting, and for that you need a lot of experience in all those parameters I told you, right?